All right, let's get it. Go nice and easy today. All yearlings? Yes, sir. Right there, going to be 250, 255, and 55, 55, 55, 255, and 55 and 5 here, going to be 250, and 250, you're going to get 250, you're going to get 250, you're going to get 250 here now, 50 down, 50 down, 5, you get 50, now 5, 60, and 265, and 70, you're going to get 275, going to be 275, and 80, 285, 85, and 90 here, going to be 290, you're going to get 295, going to be 295, you're going to get 295, and 95 and 5, you're going to get 295, 95 here, sort of a 290, put up on this on number 17. That's 17. What took you guys so long to finally get fired on those three? It was just too early? Okay. Too early, Chris? Your math ain't mathing this early. 2 and 3 year olds, guys, here's a little set of bread cows. Shortbread. Here's a little opportunity, guys. Shortbread, they're young and shortbread, 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here, going to be 2,100 here, going to be 2,100 here, going to be 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21. I got it, boys, here, going to be 2,000, going to be 100, and 21, 2, 21, 2, 21, 2, 21, 2, now 21, give 2, and 22, going to be 21, 2, now 21, going to be 203, and 22, going to be 2250, and 20, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 20, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2250, and 20, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 22 and a half, going to be 2250, and 20, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 22 and a half, going to be, yeah, John, 22, going to be half. Sold him 2,200. Terry, 6. Those here, $2. 2.5 and $2 not 2 and 2 and 5 going to be $2.05 $1.50 $1.60 $1.70 going to be 180 going to be 190 going to be $2 here going to be 205 going to be 210 210 15 20 and 225 going to be 225 and 30 230 235 and 40 going to get 245 going to be 245 50 and 250 here going to be 250 here going to be 250 and 45 going to get 50 going to get 50 going to get 50 going to get 50 and 50 here S 245 11. Whose bulls are those? Southern Reds. Recognize that brand. Old cows are open here, $1.50. $1.50, 2 and a half. $1.50, you're gonna get 2 and a half. Gonna be 50, you're gonna get 2 and a half. Gonna be 2 and a half. Gonna be 2 and a half. You're gonna get 2 and a half. $35, 40, and 35, 40, and 2 and a half. 45, 47 and a half. 50 here, 2 and a half. Gonna be 2 and a half. You're gonna get 5, and 57 and a half. 57 and a half. Gonna be 62 and a half. Gonna be 62 and a half. 5, and 65, 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 67, 50, and 67 and a half. Gonna be 67 and a half here. Booker, 165, 11. Southern Reds are young. 3s and 5s are open. $2. 2.5 and 2.5, 2.05 and 2.05, and 2, going to be 2, now 5, going to be 2.05, going to be 2.05, going to be 2.5 and 2.5, 5, now 5 here, Chris, $2, 3X. Southern Reds. Older cows, right there. You're going to be older cows. They will be 6 and 7 months. Are you making one for Lydia? Oh, yeah. No, thank you. Southern Reds cows, older cows are heavy bred, 6, 7 months. 2000, 2100, 21, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 121, 21, 2, and 23, we get 3, and 23, 2 and a half, 3, and 23 and a half here, but about 4 here, going to be 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, 5, and 25, 55 of the van, 25 of the van, 25 of the van, 600, and 25 of the van, going to be 26, and you get 6, and 2600, 5 of the van, going to be 2600, 5 of the van, going to be 2600, and 25 of the van, going to be 2600 here, 5 of the van, going to be 6 and a half, and 650, and 26, 7, and 27, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7 and a half here, 750. And 27 of going to be 2,800. Here, you're going to be 2,800. And 2,800, Andy, you're out. 2,800. And 2,800. Here, you're going to be 2,800. Here, you're going to be 2,800. Sold them 27.50. Chris, 16. Five years old, 7 months bred is what I'm seeing right there in the third trimester, guys. 2,500 and 25, yeah, 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 50 here, 5 of the van, 25 of the van, 25 of the van, hold one here, 25 of the van, going to be 6, 7, and 7 now, hey, now 9, but again 9, now 3, and 25, but again 3,000, going to be 25, but again 3,000, going to be 25, but again 3,000, going to be 20, you're out on line, 3, 1, and 31, and 31 half, 1, and 3,100, going to be 31, you're out, Andy, and 3,100, you're going to get 3,100, going to be 3,100, going to be 31, you're out, Andy, 3,100, and 3,100, you're going to get 31, now 31, you're going to get 31, you're going to get 31, going to be 31. 100 and 3,100 here, you're going to be 3,100, you're going to be 3,100, you're going to be 3,100. Sold them 3,050. Chris, 3. Yard them out. 74.56. Hold her. Chris, 3. Coy. Just a little rough in the bag, guys. I swear. $1.50. $1.55, $55, $55, $55, $55, $55, $55, $55, $55, $55 here, you're going to be $55, $55, 60, now 5, $1.65, $1.65, $5, now 70, you're going to be 170, 70, 65, 70, and 65, 70, 70, 70, 70 here, book 165, nothing. Morning. Yeah, see. Nine-year-olds. $1.50, 2.5, 50, you get 2.5, you get 5, 7, 5, going to be 60, you get 2.5, 5, and 65, 7, 70, 170, 170, you get 72.5, 72.5, 5, and 75, 750, and 77, going to be 180, 182.5, going to be 2.5, 5, 85, 87, going to be 87, going to be 90, you get 2.5, going to be 2.5, going to be 190, 250, and 90, you get 2.5, going to be 90, you get 2.5, going to be 92.5 here, so at 190, that's, why can't I remember your name? Kyle. 21. Kyle sits there on Wednesdays. Can't remember Kyle on Monday. Huh? I know it. Yep. $1.50. 55. Yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 5, 65, 65, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 5, and 65, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, and now 70, 70, now 2.5, going to be 72.5, 72.5, 72.50, and 70, 2.5, and 75 here, 77.5, 3.5, and 73, 75, 73, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, sold 173, Cabinet 3. 135 and 35 and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 35, 37, 50 and 37, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, going to be 140 and 37, 40, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5 and 45, 45, 47, 50 and 50, 50, 50, 58 and 9 and 9, 50 and 50, 50, 1 and 52, 1, 2, going to be 1, 2, 2, 3 and 53, 4 and 53, 4, 5, 55, going to be 655, going to be 6 here, 55, going to be 6, 7 and 57, going to be 8, going to be 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, jig 9, now 9, going to be 8, 9 here, now 9 here, so 158 Cavanus. No sale, no Monday. No sale, no Monday. Five, 6, and 7-year-olds here. One cow's lipping just a little, should be on there. $55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, going to get 2 and a half, going to get 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, and now 70, going to be 170, going to be 170, and now 70, going to get 70, going to get 70, going to get 78, 9, now 9, you get 9, and now 970, going to be 109.70, and 970 to Thornton, now 70, going to get 70, going to get 70, cow, 169, 21 yard amount. $1.50 on the bull, $1.50, 60, 170, 170, 80, 80, 90, 90, 90, here, going to be 85, and 85, 85, 85, $1.85 here, 90, 95, 95, and 2, going to be 210, going to be 220, 220, and 230, 40, and 230, 40, going to get 230, 40, going to get 230, 40, 40, 40, going to get 40, going to get 40 here, and tone, 230. Rodeo bull.
No, this is our number 1 bull. Breeding bull.
Okay.
Breed them heifers for a little more weight. Leader bull in the 3 minutes.
$3, 305, and 3, we get 3, we get 3, we get 3, 5, go to be 305, go to be 305, 10, 3, 10, 3, 10, 15, 20, and 3, 20, we get 3, 20, 3, 20, and now 20, we get 3, 20, we get 3, 20, go to be 15, 20, and 20 by 23, go to be 20 by 23, go to be 20, we get 20, go to be 20, you got John, 320 there, go to be 20 here, Chris, 315, 7X. Three and 4 months bred guys. They're young and they're 3 and 4 months bred. 2,000, 20, 100, and 21, and 20, 21, 21, 21, 2100 here. Here going to be 2,000. Here going to be 2, and 2001, and 2100 here. Here going to be 21, 21, 21, 2. Here going to be 23, and 22, 3. Going to be 23, 300. Going to be 2250 out of line. 2250, and 22 and a half, 3, and 2300 here. Going to be 23. Going to be 23, and 23. Going to be 2300. Down 2300 here. Total 22 and a half. Flying B. What number, William? 2. What's wrong? Hold your gate. One of them's buckling. Hold her. 74.82.
Yep, just let one of them out.
Is they're gonna hold 74.82?
Flying B2. Sure do. Sure do. Let's
Let one
just
out. Hey, just let one out.
bring them back. Bring them back 1 and 1. Got to open it back up.
So we're not under. 74.82? Yeah, they're gonna hold the 74.82, but we need to bring one back.
They're both coming back, but one at a time.
Yeah, one
We're
at a
redoing
time.
it.
One at a time here.
Little gunshot, John. She's all right, ain't she?
She's 3 by 3 guys. 2,000. 2,100 and 21 and 21, 21, 22, going to be 22, 3, going to be 23, 4, 3, 2,400 and 4, 5 and 25, 600 and 25, going to be 625, shortly 600 and 25, going to be 26, 7 and 27, going to be 2,800, going to be 2,800, going to be 28, William, 2750 and 27 and a half here, going to be 27 and a half, going to be 2,800 and 2,800, going to be 28, going to be 28, going to be 28, 2,800, I sold her 27 and a half, flying B2. They got the other one coming.
Yeah, they're gonna bring her up.
Way, Ricardo. Yeah, McGee's. Yep. About 30 some of these cows all together. Six to 10. $1.52 and a half. $1.50. We get 2.5. Going to be 50 and 2.5. 5 and 55 and a half. 57 and 57 and a half. Going to be 60. We get 2.5. 5 and 65. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 70. Going to be 170. Going to be 178. 9 and 9. Going to be 8 and 9. Going to be 8 and 9. Going to be 69. 70 and 9 here. Going to be 71 and 70. 71. 101. 71. 71. 71 here. 71 here. 71 here. Sold 170. Han Booker 11. 9, 10-year-olds.
16 of them? 17?
$55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, 57, going to be 60, going to get 2.5, going to be 2.5, going to get 5, and get 5, got 3, 5 and a half, 67 now, 7, going to be 9, going to get 9, going to be 8, 9, going to be $8, now 9, and now 9, going to be 69, and now 9, going to get 9, going to be 9, here, going to be 9, going to get 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, and 9 here, so 168, Booker, 11. Make sure you put Booker 11 on that bill. $55, yeah, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, going to get 2.5, 5, and get about 7 and 70, 170, 108, now $8, 7 and a half, $8, and now $8 there, going to be $8 now, $8, and now 9, going to be 9, going to get 9, going to be 9, now 970, going to be 170, and 970 there, going to be 70, going to get 70, going to get 70 here, Booker, 169.12. Nine and 10 years. There's 8-year-old in there. 8 to 10 years old. There's 7 months. 5 to 7 months bred. 2,500 and 25, yeah, 25 and 25, 25, 25, 55 of the hand, 25 of the hand, 25 of the hand, 25 of the hand, going to be 25, 50, and 25, 50, and 25 of the hand, going to be 25 of the hand, going to be 25 of the hand, going to be 25, 50, and 25 and a half here, 2,000 here, 1, and 21, 21, 21, 2, 3, and 23, 4 here, 24, 23, 54, and 24 to hand, going to be 24 to hand, going to be 24 to hand, going to be 24, 50, and 24 to hand, bit of a half here, going to be 24 to hand, going to be 24, 50, and 20, going to get 4 to hand, going to be 24 to hand, top row, you're out, 24 to give half, and 24 to half, going to be 24 to half, going to be 24, going to be half here, going to be half here, going to be half. Sold them 2,400. Andy LaFoe. Older cow, 6, 7 months bred. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, this cow triple. They all triple.
She's got long toes. All of them just got a little bit of some foot problems. Buck 35, and 35, 40, and 35, 40, 35 here, 35, 35, 35, it'll get 35, it'll get 35, it'll get 35, going to be 135, and 35 here, 25, and 27 of going to be 32 and a half, 35 here, 37 of 37 of going to be 40, it'll get 40, 40, and 37, 40, and 7 of 40, 40, 40, it'll get 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, it'll get 2 and a half, it'll get 5, $1.45, 750, and 40, it'll get 7 of going to be 47 and a half here, going to be 147 and a half, going to be 140, $50, $50, now $5, $55, $55, it'll get 5 here, so 150 MW. Way here, 35, and 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 750, and 35, 37, and 35, 37, and 37, and 37, and 40, and 40, 2 and a half, 5, and 47, and 47, and 47, and 47, 50, and 40, 7, and going to be 40, 7, and going to be 47 and a half here, book 145, 3. Five-year-old cows here, $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, and now 70, 175, 75, 75, jig is 75, and 75 here, 75, 2 and a half, 5, and 75, 75, 75, 77 and a half, 750, and 77 and a half, going to be 77 and a half, going to be 77 and a half here, 80, 180, 180, $1.80 there, going to be 180, going to be 80, going to be 80 now, 80 there, going to be 180 here, so 177 and a half, flying B. 4. Oh, work cows, dollar bill. $5, and $105 here, good to be 105, 85, 85, 105, 105, 105, 10, good to be 110, bit of a 10, 15, and 20, and 20, 20, there, good to be 125, good to be 25, 25, 25, and 30, bit of 30 here, 25, bit of 30, 30, there, good to be 30, 30, there, good 30, and 25, bit of 30, not 5, and 35 here, 35, 35, bit of 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 35 here, gray, 130, 5X, just X. Forward open. $1.50. $1.50, 60, $1.50, 60 there, here, 150, 60 here, $1.50, 60 there, going to be 160, $1.50, 60 there, going to be 170, 180, going to be 80, 90, going to be 90, $2, and $2 a pound, going to be 2, going to be 190, 2 there, going to be 190, $2 here, going to be 90, 2 here, so 190, Chris, 3X. $85, $85 here, group 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 87, 50, 87, group 90, group 90, group 100, group 100, you do it, and 190, 190, 190, and 190, group 90, group 92, 92, 50, and 92, 91 through, and 92, 91, 2, 91, 2, group 91, 2, group 91, 2, whole, 191, 7. $185, $85 there, group 85, 87, 87, 87, 92, 92, 50, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 97 and a half, and 97, 97, 67, and 97, 97, 97, 97, 96, 7, and 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, here's sort of 196, whole 7. $185, $85 there, group 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 87, group 85, $185 there, group 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 75, and 75, 75, 75, 75, $75, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 5, 185. Sold 180, Ricardo. Pretty cows, right? $1.55. 55, 55, 75, 57, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, we get 2.5, 5, and 65, 7.5, 7.5, 70, 170. How old is she? How old was this cow? Doesn't say. 170, did you get 70? 170, 2.5, 75, 75, and 77.5, 77.5, 80, and now 80, did you give 80? He is 8.9, and now 9, going to be 8, 9, going to be 9, 9, 70, hey, going to be 9, daughter, going to be 9, 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 so 178, grade 10. Four years old, she's 7 months bred. 2,000, 20, 100, and 25, and 25, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 2100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 25, 600, and 25, going to be 600, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, now 8, here, 8, 9, 3, and 3, 1, and 3,100, and down to 1, 2, 30, 1, 2, and 31, 2, 1, 2, 32, 3, and 33, 3, 4, and 3,400, here, going to be 33, 400, and 4, 5, and 3,500, 6, and 35, going to be 600, 35, 3,600, and 35, going to be 3,600, you out on line, 3,600, and 35, going to be 3,600, here, going to be 35, going to be 6, 7, and 37, going to be 37, going to be half 7, and 37, here, now 7, and 7, and 7, you out on line, 3,700, and 3,700, going to be 37, going to be 37, going to be 37, going to be 37, William, yeah, 3,700, and 3,700, going to be 37, here, sold, 3,650, Chris 3. What's this one? We all think she is about a 5-year-old. $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, here, S, 150, S on number 4. Two and open coming in. $2. 210 and 210. Bit of a 210. Good of a 210. Good of a 210. $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 70, 55, 80, 55, 95, and 95 and 2, good 205, good 210, good 210, 15, 215, 20, and 225, good 225 and 30, and 235, 35, 40, 245, good 245, 50, and 255, 55, 55 here, 55, and 55 here, 55 here, 55, 55, 55 here, Chris, 250, 7X. How old? 6-year-old. $1.50. 50, we get 2.5, 52, and 5, 55, 57, 60, we get 60, and 2.5, 5, and 65, 7, 70, could be 170, could be 174, yeah, 71, and 70, 72, 71, 2, 71, 2, 71, 2, and 72, 1, 2, 71, we get 2, S, 171, 5. Ten-year-old. 135, and 35, and 30, 40, and 45, it'll get 45, it'll get 50, and 2.5, 5, and 55, 57, going to be 60, now 60, now 1, and to get the 1, has to get the 1, 2, going to be 2, and 3, going to get 3, and 2, 3, going to be 2 3s, 4, and now 4, 5, 65, 64, 5, and to get the 4, 5, it'll get 5, it'll get $5, now 5 here, going to be $4, it'll get 5 here, 5 here, going to be 5 here, Booker, 164, 11. 12. 8-year-old, she's open, 155, 55, and 55, 57, going to be 60, we get 2.5, we get 5, and to get 5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, 170, 170, 171, 71, 71, 2, 71, 2, here, 2, 3, and 73, 74, 74, 73, 74, 5, here, 75, 6, here, 75, 600, and 77, and 77, 8, 77, 8, we get 9, group 9, we get 9, 78, now 9, and 78, now 9, we get 9, here, now 9, group 9, now 9, here, gray, 178, 10. Two-year-old, 3-year-old, $1.50. $1.55, and 55, and 55, now 60, we get 5, 70, 175, 75, 75, going to be 80, 175, 80, and 75, going to be 180, going to be 75, going to be 180, and 75, going to be 80, J on 75, going to be 80, 75, going to be 80, 75, going to be 80, here S, 175, 4.
Thank you, sir.
10-year-old guys, $1.50. 55, and 57, 57, going to be 60, we get 2.5, we get 5, and 65, 7.5, 7.5, 70, now 70, 170, 170, 170, 170, and 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70 here, Cavus, 167.5. Four-year-old cow, $1.50. 55, and 55, and 55, 60, now 5, and 65, 70, 170, 170, 175, 75, 75, 80, 80, 175, going to be 80 here, 77, 80, and now 82 and a half, 85 here, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, going to be 85, going to be 85, 85 here, going to be 85 here, gray, 182 and a half, 10. 9. My bad. Big mouth.
They got a big mouth.
Big mouth.
Leg bite.
135 and 35 and 35, 35, 37 and 37 and going to be 40. Going to get 2 and a half. Going to get 5. 47 and now 50 and 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. 5 and 55, 57 and 57 and going to be 60 now 60 now 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. Going to get 255 and to get about 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 70. Going to be 170 and now 70. Going to get 70. Going to get 70 now 70 here. Caddis 167 and a half. 3.
Okay. Sounds good. Yep. I'm not gonna complain.
No tag.
Yeah, 400 or 500. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Right. 74.45.
It's that Southern Reds that held.
That's probably about 5-year-old cow. 5.
5-year-old.
I know that.
5-year-old here, $1.55. 55, 55, 55, 55, 60 to 5. And 65, 70, 175, 75, 75, give 80, 185, group 85 and 90, group 190, 85 and 95, group 95, group 195, group 95, 95 and 2. And now 5, group 205, group 210, 15, 220, and 220, group 220. Both guys online, you're out. 220, and now 20, group 220, group 220, group 220, and 215, 20 bit 23, group 20 here, Chris, 215, 3X.
Maybe I'm gonna get a job outside. Boy, I can sit right outside, in the chair. Yeah, get these out of here.
Four and open, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, or yeah, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, bit of that here, going to be 2 and a half here, S, 160, 13. Nine years and 7 months, 2,000. 2,100, 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 20. I got 2, have 1, and 2,100, 1, 2, 2, 3, we get 3, 4, and 24, 24 and a half, 25, 25, 25, you get 5, and 2,500 here, 50, and 25 of the van, going to be 25 of the van, going to be 25, 50, and 25 of the van, going to be 25, half of the van, Andy, you're out, 25, 50, and 25 of the 6, and 25 of the van, going to be 650, and 26 and a half here, we're out again, 26 and a half here, half here, bit of a half here, going to be 26.50, and 26 and a half here, half here, going to be half here, you get 50 now, half here, so 2,600, Chris, 16. 7 years old. She's 5 months, guys. Here, 2,000 and 2,100 and 21 and 20 and 21, 21, 2,100. Here, 1, 2, get 3 and 23. Going to be 24. Going to be 25. Going to be 25, 50 and 25 of the van. Going to be 2,600. Here, 5 of the van. Going to be 26 and a half. Here, 7 and 27 and a half. Here, going to be 28 and 9 and 9. Going to be 20. Here, going to be 900. What about a half? 850 and 28 and a half. You're out of line. You're out of line. 28.50 and 28 and a half. Here, 8 and a half. Going to be 28 and a half. Here, going to be 28. Going to be half. Sold him 2,800. Put him on cow. Number 18. 10-year-old cow here, 135, and 35, and 35, 37, and 35, 37, and 37, and 37, 50, and 30, 7, and 40, and 2 and a 5, and 45, 47, and half, 50, giant, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, and now 5 here, 55 here, Luke, you're out, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, Booker, 152 and a half, nothing. Five and 6 year olds. They're 3 and 4 months bred. 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100, hey, 100, hey, 1, and 21, 21, 21, 2,100. Here's a garrison consignment, guys. Rather here be 130 of these cows all together, and 2,100, and 2,100, and 2,100, and 2, now 3, and 23 and a half here, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 25, and 2,500 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 600, and 25 and a half, going to be 26 and a half, and a half, 7, and a 7, and 7, and 7 and a half, going to be 27 and a half, going to be 27.50, halfway, and 2,800 here, 800 here, going to be 2,800, and 2,800 here, 800, going to be 2,800 here, going to be 2,800 and a half, 28 and a half, now 9, now 9, going to be 9, and 2,900, now 900, going to be 29, going to get 900, going to be 29, going to get 900, going to be 2,900, sold them 28 and a half, MW 2. Seven and 8 year olds, they are how far bred? 2 and 3 months bred. 2 to 3 months bred. Bags all okay. 2,000, 20, 100, 21, and 21, 21, 21, 2100 here, 2, and 22, 22, 23, and 23 going to be 50, now 4, and 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 5, and 25, 55 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 2,600, and 2,600 and a half here, half here, going to be 26.50, and 26 and a half here, half here, and half here, going to be 26 and a half, so about 2,600, Chris 55. Some shortbread, some open. Big old cows, guys. Let's weigh them. $55, 55, now 57, going to be 60, you're going to get 2 and a half, you're going to get 5, and now 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, and 67 and a half, 70, you're going to be 170, what about $868, and how hey here, you're going to be $8, and how hey here, you're going to be $8, you're going to be $8 here, you're going to be $8 here, you're going to be here, so 167 and a half, grade 10. $55, 55, 57, 55, 57, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, you're going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 55, and 7 and a half, 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 70, and how 70, you're going to get 70, you're going to get 70, you got 70, now 70, and 70, but 73, you're going to get 70, you're going to get 70, you're going to get 70 here, Booker, 167 and a half. Yep. Be 58 in this draft, guys. 58 of them. Here's half of them.
No, and I don't plan on it either.
Okay, this is gonna be a split draft of 58. I have 29 outside.
They sorted these last night.
I have no idea.
Might be working on water gaps. Might be working on water gaps.
It's too early to start.
I'll be there and I buy lunch.
He's not here, is he? I'll go, guys. 135, and 35, and 35, 37, and 37, and going to be 40, going to get 2 and a half, going to get 5, 47, and 50, 10, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to get 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, and 57, and 57, and 57, and 56, 7, and $58, and 57, and 7, and 7, and 9, going to 9 here, 59, 60, it's 61, here, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 3, 4, 5, and 65, 6, and 66, and half, 5 here, 66 here, 65, and half, 66, Collier House, 66, and 65, 6, and 65, going to be 66, here, 5, going to be 6, and 65, 66, 65, 60, going to be 6, sold 165, Booker 12. I'll go, guys. 125, 125, 125, 125, 25. There's going to be 34 of them, guys. Okay, split draft. My bad, lid. All going to go, guys. 135, and 35, and 37, and 35, 37, and 35, 35, 37, 50, and 30, 57, and going to be 30, 57, and 40, going to be 40, and 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 47, and 47, and 45, 7, and 50, and 50, 50, and 53, going to be 150, and 53, going to get 50, 8, 9, and now 9, going to be 9, 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, now 1, and 50, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 53, going to get 53, going to get 54, you get 44, and 53, 54, 53, 4, 5, and 55, 56 here, 55, 6, 7, and 57, I'm going to get 50 here, going to be 50 here, going to be $8, 57, going to be $8, going to be 8 here, going to be 8 here, going to be sold. 157 Booker, 13. $7 by 3 and 8 by 4.
You ready, Matt?
Yeah, just win. $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 62 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, and 62 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 70, going to be 170, going to be 170, and now 70, going to get 70, going to get 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 172 and a half, and 70, going to get 2 and a half here, sold 170 online buyer will be Teddy Bowles. Four-year-old gal, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 65, 70, 175, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 5, and 75, 80, 180, 180, 180, John, 175, going to be 80 here, sold, 175, Chris, 3X. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 55, 55, 75, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, and 57 and a half. Anybody else want to play? 57 and a half. Give it 155X. Huh. Bring me some more like her. 8-year-old cow here, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, 55, 57, 57, 50, 50, 57, 57, 57, here sold 155. Gibbon straight. Y'all let him get started, now he's going to buy them all. A little 2-year-old cow, guys. She's 5 months bred. 1,500. 15, 16, and 50, 16, 17, and 17, 1,800, 19, 2, 19, 2, and 2,000, 2001, and 21, 21, 21, 2, 200, 21, 2, and 2,200, 2,200, and 21, 2, 2,200, 21, 200, 2, sold her 2,100. Ricardo. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 35, 37, 37, going to be 42 and a half, 45, 47, going to be 52 and a half, 52, 50, and 2 and a half, and 57, 57, 57, 60, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 7 and a half, 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 67 and a half, and 67 and a half, going to be 67 and a half here, S, 165, 4. Eight-year-old cow here, lame cow here, $1.50. 55, and 55, 55, 57, 62 and a half, 25, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 100, 70, 100, 70, 100, 2 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75 here, 75, 73, 75, 73, 75, 7, and 77, 77, 75, going to be 77, 75, going to be 7, sold 175, Gibbon X. How old? 7-year-old. 55, 55, 57, going to be 60, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 67 and a half, 70, 100, 70, 102 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 80. Want to do it? 180. Booker, 177 and a half. 8-year-old, 55, 55, 57, 55, 57, 57, 55, 57, 57, 60, and hand 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to get 5, and 65, and has 65, now 5 here, 65, and 7 and a half, 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 going to be 67 and a half, going to be 67 and a half. Sold 165, Booker. Did you get it? Five at Open, 135, 40, and 35, and 35, 35, you get 35, and on a 35, 40, you're going to get 40, you're going to get 45, going to be 45, you're going to get 55, 55, 60 to 5, and 70, 175, 75, give 80, 180, 175, 85, 85 and 90, going to be 195, 95, 95 and 2, going to be 205, going to be 210, going to be 210 on line 20, and 220, 30, and 230, you're going to get 230 on line, 230, 40, and 240, 50, you're going to get 250, you're going to be 250 out on line, 250, and 240, 50, you're going to get 250, 60, and 260, you're going to get 260, you're going to get 260, Teddy, 250. Eight years old, she's 2 months bred, $1.50, now 5, and 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 5 here, $1.55, 55 here, $1.55, 60, and now 60 there, going to be 60 there, going to be 60, Chris, 155, nothing. 55, 55, now 57, about 60, and 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 65, 7 and a half, 70, 100, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 75 here, 77 and a half, 77, 50, and 77 and a half, going to be 77 and a half here, Cavis, 175, nothing. Fifty-five, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 55, 57, 57, about 60, and how 60, we get 60, going to be 60, we get 60, and how 60, there, 162 and a half, 5, and to get a 5, and has to get a 4, yeah, 65, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, and how 70, we get 70, going to be 70, we get 70, we get 70 here, S, 167 and a half, 4X. Five-year-old cow, 135. 135, 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, we get 40, 140, 30, 40, 50, $1, 45, 45, 45, 50, we get 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, here 5, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, now 5, now 65, $100 and a half, 5 here, so 160, Chris, 3X. That's the reason he bought her. Shiny horns. Six by 2 plus. $1.50. $1.55, 55, 60, now 5, 70, 175, 75, 80, 180, 175, 80, and 75, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, yeah, down low, 185, 190, 190, 85, get 90, 85, 90, 85, get 90, 95, 195, 195, soda, 190, Flying B, 4. 2. Sorry, William. Still raining? Do you see? Nine by 3 plus here, $1.50. $1.55, 55, 55, 60, 5, and now 70, 175, 75, 80, 180, 180, 75, 80, and 75, going to be 180, 75, going to be 80, 75, going to be 80, and 75, going to be 80, 75, going to be 180 here, Chris, 175, nothing. On 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 77, going to be 82 and a half, 85, 85, 85, 87, going to be 87, going to be 87, 90, and 90, 92 and a half, and 92 and a half, going to be 90, we get 2 and a half, 91, 3, and 93, 5, and 93, we get 5, 93, we get 5, 93, we get 5, 93, we get 5, sold 193, whole 7. Ten-year-old got a little hang down here, $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 60, and down 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, we get 5, 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, and down 70, we get 70, we get 70, we get 70, Cavitas, 167 and a half, 3. Eight-year-old cow here, 152 and a half. You 2 and a half and a half here, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 60, and now 60, we get 60, going to be 60, and now 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half here, now 5, 165, 7 and a half online, 750, and 67 and a half here, half and a half here, 70, and now 70, we get 70, we get 70, so Teddy, 167 and a half. 2-year-old here, daughter. Dollar 10 and $100 here. Going to be 110, 20, going to be 20, 30, going to get 30, going to get 40, going to get 40 down, 50, $1.50, 60 and 70, 170, 160, 70, 170, going to get 70, sold 160, S13. Money. 175, yeah, 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 77, 77, 77, going to be 80, and 182 and a half, 92 and a half, going to be 5, 85, 85, 87, going to be 87, going to be 99, going to be 90, going to be 198, 9, 90, 191, 192, 192, 3, and 93, 4, and 94, 4 here, 94, 5, going to get 95, 600, going to be 95, going to be 6, 7, and 97, 97, 97, 97, heavy to get 90, heavy to get 90, heavy to get 98, 97, going to be 198. Sold 197, whole 7. $1.50. $1.55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 35, and 35, 35, 40, and 45, 55, and 55, going to be $60, $65, 165, and 55, and 70, 170, 170, 170, and 65, 70, going to get 70, and 70 here, whole, 165, 6. $10 fund, $5, and $105, going to be 10, 15, 20, 125, 25, and 30, going to get 35, 35, 40, 140, and 5, and 45, 50, going to be 150, and 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 50, and 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, sold, 147 and a half, gray, X. Little 4-year-old cow. She's 2 months bred. Who get 1,500 on her? 15, 16, 15, going to be 16, 17, 17, 18 here, 1,800, and 17, but 18 here, going to be 18, but 18, going to be 17, going to be 1,800, 1,800 here, 17, 18 here, going to be 1,800, 1,800 here, 18 here, sold her 1,700, Ricardo. Four by 2 plus 1,500. 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, bit of 19, going to be 2,000, 2,000, going to be 2,001, and 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here, going to be 2,100, and 2,100 here, 1, 2, 21, 2, 21, give 2, and 2,200 here, 2, 3, and 23, get 3, going to be 23, get 3, going to be 23, and 3, and 2,300, going to be 23, and 300, going to be 23, get 300, and 3, sold her 2,200, MW. Eight-year-old, she's 7 months bred, 2,000. 2,100, 2,100 here, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here, 1, 2, 2, 3, 23 and a half, 4, and 24 going to be 25, 600, and 25 going to be 2,600 here, 25 going to be 2,600, 25 going to be 26, and 25 you're out here, 26, 7, and 27, and 7, 7, 7, 7, you're out on line, 2,700, and 27, and 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, and 2,700 going to be 27, going to be 27, going to be 27, going to be 6, 7, sold her 2,600, Ricardo. 65, and 65, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 70, 172, and 75, 75, 77, and 77, and 750, and 70, 77, and a half, going to be 77, and a half, going to be 77 and a half here, cabinets, 175, 3. ain't gonna get a chance to run over me. Older cow here, $1.55. And oh. Oh. Yeah, dollar. 50 cents a pound. 60, 70, 80, 90, dollar, 10, 20. Sold 110. S1. Ten it open. 125, 25, and 25, 25, 25, 25, and 30, 25, get 30, 30, group 30, get 30, 25, group 30, get 30, 25, group 30, get 30, get 30, here, S, 125, 4. Three-year-old mama here, guys, just a 3-year-old here, $2 a pound. 25, 25, 5, here, going to be 205, 205, 5, 105, here, 10, going to be 210, going to be 15, and 215, 20, and 220, 220, bit of a 20, going to be 20, going to be 20, bit of 20, there, going to be 20, bit 20, there, going to be 20, here's holder, 215, Ricardo. You might not want to get out, Ricardo. You've been doing a pretty good job. Hello, Bobby Rigner. Good. Old cow here, 135.40. 140, yeah, 40, 43, 45, 45, 50, 50, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 55, 57, 57, 60, and down 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 6 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, going to be 170, going to be 2 and a half, and 70, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 70, going to get 2 and a half here, cabinets, 170 on 3. Two years and 7 months, Antone, you got 1,500. 16, 17, and 17, 18, 1800, 18, 19, here, 18, 19, 2, and 21, and 21, 22, 22, 23, going to be 22, now 3, and 23, going to get 3, 4, and 24, now 5, and 25, 6, here, 25, going to be 6, 7, and 7, here, going to be 2,800, 27, going to be 2,800, and 27, going to be 2,800, here, going to be 27, going to be 2,800, Flying B, 2,700. On number 1. She is here, $1.55. 55, 55, 57, going to be 60. You're going to get 2 and a half, you're going to get 5, and 67 and a half, and 67 and a half, going to be 67 and a half, 70, and half 71, 71, 72, 72, 3, and 73, 72, 3, 72 and a half, 3, and 72, going to get 3, 72, going to be 3, going to get 3, 72, 3. Did you break it? 72, going to get 3, 72, going to be 3, S, 172, 5. She's got a missing toe. Six by seven. She got long toes. $1.50. $55, and 55 and a half, 55, $60, $60, $60, $60, and 55, 60, now 5, and 65, 70, 170, going to be 175, now 80, $1.80, going to be 175, 85, 85, 85, 85, $1.85, $1.85 here, 85, going to be 85 here, so 180, MW2. 65, and 65, and has 7, 750, and 67 and a half, 70, 72 and a half, 75, and 75 here, 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 750, and 70, 77 and a half here, bit of a half here, going to be 77 and a half here, great, 175, 10. I'd reserve grand heifer, 400-pound heifer.
$10.68.
10 years old, 6 to 8 months. That's what I'm seeing. Old and heavy red here, 2,000, 2,100, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here, hold your gate here, 2,100, 2,100 here, 2, and 21, 2, 1, 2, going to be 21, 2, 22, 2,200, and 21, 2, 1, 2, going to be 2,200 here, going to be 21, going to be 2, and 2,200 here, going to be 21, 2, 3, and 23 and a half, 3 and a half, and 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 24, 24, 24 and a half, 24, 50, and 20, going to get 4 and a half, going to be 24, 50, and 24 and a half here, and you got 24 and a half here, half and a half, going to be 24, going to be half, 24, going to be half, so about 20, 400, Chris, 16. Yeah, reserve grade with his heifer. He had took a couple steers. 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 57, 57, 60, and now 62 and a half, 62 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 62 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, and 67 and a half here, going to be 67 and a half here, book 165. Ten-year-old cows for 3 months bred. $1.50, 3 to 5 months. $1.50, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 57, 57, about 60, 160, 102 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, and 65, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 70, and now 70, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75, 77 and a half, 80, and now 80, jig of 80, going to be 82 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, 85, 87, going to be 87, going to be 87, 50, 87 and a half here, going to be 87 and a half here, so 185 gray, 15.
All subs open yet?
No.
Get your world famous burrito.
When do they open? Eight, 9 years old. 55, 55, 55, 75, 57, going to be 60, going to get 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 70, 172 and a half, 72, 50, and 70, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 70, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 75, 75, 75, 77 and a half, 80, and now 82 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, going to be 87 and a half here, going to be a half here, so 185, Cal 21. Kyle. They're all crippled.
All go way the large.
55, 55, 57, 55, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, 57, 57, 57, 57, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, 1, 2, 3, sold 162, Gibbon, 1. Gibbon 1, 161, Gibbon 1.
Only need one more to get a load.
Got 6 cows and 3 pins.
Red cows, John.
Here's some bread cows.
Then, more cows.
10-year-old cows are 5 months bred, 2,000. 20, 100, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 102, 22, 3, and 23, 4, and 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 2,500, and 25 of the van, gonna be 25 of the van, and 25, 50, and 25 of the van, gonna be 25 of the van, gonna be 25, 50, and 25 of the van, gonna be 25 and a half, here, gonna be 25 of the van, you're out now, 600, and 2600, and 25 of the van, gonna be 6 and a half, here, gonna be half here, sold them 2,600, Chris 16. Yard outs. Oh, you talking to him?
I thought he started with you. Yeah.
We need to get a yard outs whenever we can.
Hey, more Maggie cows.
13, 14 of them.
Yep, 76. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 57, 57, 57, 60, and now 60, we get 60, and now 60, here, 101, and 61, 61, 61, 61, 62, 2, 61, 2, and now 2, now 3, and 3, we get 3, 4, 63, 64, 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 6, and 66, here, 5, 66, 7, and 7, and 7 of 8, here, $8, here, $8, how 8, and now 7, $8, 7, $8, you give 8, now 8, 9, and now 9, going to be 68, now 9, and 9, 9, here, going to be so 168, Chris 10.
White cows. I think they're like 8 or 9. I'm not sure.
8 and 9-year-olds.
I think I see 1 9. I don't know about the others.
Okay. 155, 55, 57, 57, 60, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 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 70, you're going to be 170, you're going to be 170, and now 70 there, you're going to be 70, you're going to be 70 here, Booker, 67 and a half, 13. Bob, let's go this way, please.
Fire and lover.
She's buckling just a little bit, guys, back here, but she is bred. You guys do want to take her home, have a calf, you can. She's 4x3.
Outside.
$1,000. You got 1,000? 1,100. 10, 11, 1,100, go to 1,000, 1,112, 11, 12, and 13, to get 13, to get 13, to get 13, 12, and 1,300, and 13, to get 14, and 1,400, to 14, to get 14, to get 15, and 1,500, to 14, to get 15, 14, to get 15, go to be 14, to get 15, die sold her, 1,400. What's the name? John? H-N or J-O-N? Well, I go by J-O-N. Is there H in your name? J-O-H-N? Johan. Yep. Yep. $55, and 55, 57, 55, 57, 60, 2.5, good to be 2 and 5, and 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, and now 70, good to be 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 70, here, so 167.5, Kevin a sex. Good shoulders, put all the spots together. McGee. 35, and 35, and 35, 37, and 37, and 37, and 37, 50, and 37, and 40, you get 40, that 2.5, 42 and a hand, you get 5, and 45, 47, and 47, and 47, and 47, and 50, and $1.50, you're going to be 150, you get 50, you get 50, you're going to be 150, and now 8, 9, and now 9, 50, you get 51, and 51, 51, 51, 2, 2, 3, you get 53, you get 52, 3, and now 52, 3, 52, 53, 52, 53, 52, going to be 3, and half, 52, going to be $3, you get 3, so 152, grade 5. Nope. Ought to be at 105 and 105 here. Going to be 105. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. Going to be 105. 105 and 105 here. Going to be 105. It'll get 5. It'll get 10. Going to be 110. Going to be 110. 15, 20, and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25 and 5 here. Going to be 125 and 25, 5 here. 30 and 30. It'll get 30, 25. Going to be 30, 25. Going to be 30. It'll get 30. It'll get 30 here. Terry 125 on 7. Still raining, Bob?
125, that's the cheapest group of cows I've sold in a long time.
What did you see him? 4 and open. $2. 2.5 and 2.5. It'll get 2. Going to be 2. Going to be 2. It'll get 2. Going to be 2. Going to be 2. Going to be 2. $2 a pound. 2.05 and 2.5. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. Going to be 2. 105. It'll get 5. It'll get 5 here. Chris, $2 on number 3X. Ah, dadgummit.
She's out on one of them.
She just didn't have spots. Fat covers a lot of sin, don't it? I agree with that. pretty good looking bull here, guys. $175, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 80, and 75, give 80, 75, group 185, 85, 85, and 90, group 195, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 2, 95, 25, and 295, 5, and 2, group 210, 15, 210, 15, 20, and 225, and 225, 5, 30, 235, and 235, 235, 5 here, 235, 5 here, Chris Bull, 230. Pretty good bull, I think, Chris, if he's sound. I'm talking. Yeah. 185, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, group of 92 and a half, 95, 95, 97 and a half, 97 and 97 97 and 2, group of 2, 2 and a half, and 202 and a half, group of 202 and a half, 5, and now 5, group of 7 and a half, group of 7 and a half, group of 7 and a half, 6, 7, and 7 and a half, 8, 8, 9, group of 2, 9, 10, and 9, 10, group of 9, 10, group of 9, 10, 11, and 2, 11 and 12, 8, 11, 12, and 11, group of 2, 12 and 13, 13, 14, and 14, 14, 14, here, Gibbon Bull, 213. $2. 25 and 25, 205 and 205 here, 5 and 5, 10, group of 210, 15, 20, and 225 and 5 here, group of 225 and 5 here, 30, and 35, 235, group of 235, Jupiter over here, 235 and 40, and 240, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40 here, Ricardo, 235. Dollar. $1.25, 50. $1.50. 50. $1.50, 60. 70. $1.80, 90. $1.90. Sort of $1.80 and tone.
He was taking big jumps.
Everybody jump too high, huh?
Yeah. 25-cent jumps.
Sometimes go 50.
Sometimes 50s. $65, and 65, and 65, 65, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 50, 70, and now 70, we get 2 and a half, 72, 50, now 5, and 75, 77, 77, 750, now 80, and 183, 82 and a half, 82, 50, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 90, and down 100, you get 90, and down 100, we get 90, group 90, 90 here, so 187 and a half, hole 7. $85, 85, 85 there, group 85, 85, 85, and 90, we get 90 here, 95, and 95 here, 95, 95, 95, and 2, group 2, group 2, group 2, we get 2, group 2, group 2, $2, and $2, group 2, group 80s, and 97 and a half, 2, and 97, group 2, now 2, group 2, we get $2 here, group 2, there, here, sort of 197, 50, hole 7. I thought he'd have brought more than that. sown.
Grasshoppers are bad.
Piss on them grasshoppers.
They like that little young, tender. Just look at it one day and it's gone the next.
I had one fly on me the other day. I knew he was there, but I left him there for a little bit. Darcy's like, you know you have a grasshopper in your beard? I go, yeah. Just gonna leave him there all day?
It's my friend.
My daughter would have freaked out. She hates grasshoppers. 185, 85 here, group 85, 85 and 90, group 190, and 90 here, 190, 195, and 95 here, 95, 92, 92, 55, 95, 95, 95, 95, and 95, 750, and 97, 97, 97, group 97 and a half here, group 97 and a half here, sort of 195, hole 7. I don't think she likes. $175, 75, 750, and 77, group 180, 182, group 250, 82, group 81, 83, 83, 81, 83, 81, 83, 5, 85 here, group 85, 85, 85, 83, 85 here, 85, 45, 85 here, 86 out of here, 85, 6, 87 here, 86, 7 here, group 7, so 186, hole 7. $1.50. $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 70, 175, 75, 75, give 80, and 175, give 80, 75, group 1, 80, 75, group 80, 175, group 85, 185 and 90, 190, and 190, group 85, group 90, here's sort of 185, Chris 9. I guess so. $175, 75, 75, 77, 75, 77, group 81, 82, group 205, 85, 87, 87, 87, group 87, 50, 90, and 90, you get down to here, group 90, you get 90, you get 90, group 90, you get down to here, sort of $1.87.50, yes, 6. I didn't see. $75, 75, 75, 77, group 82, group 205, 85, 87, 87, group 92, 95, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 750, and 97 and a half here, bit of a half here, group 97 and a half here, same way, 195.
Probably.
300.
260 is what the computer says.
Dollars. $2. 205 and 25. Get 5. Get 5. Get 5. Now 5 here. 5 here. Going to be $2 and 2 now 5 here. 5. Get 5 and 10. Going to be 210. Bit of 210. 15. 15. 20 and 225. Bit of 225. 225. 30 and 235. Get 35. 235. Get 5 here. 235. Get 5 sold. 230. Chris. 99.
Maybe they've been catching. Busy morning.
We was outside, me and Darce last night on the golf cart, and the dogs went to chasing this little bunny rabbit. $2, 205 and 25. Get 5 and 10. Going to be 210. Going to be 15. Going to be 20 now 5 and 25. 30, 230, 235 and 35, 40. With a 245. Going to be 250 and 250. Out in tone. 250, 255, 55 and 55, 55 here, 55 here, 55, 55 here. Sold 250 and tone. $85, 85 here, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 87, 87, 50, and 92 and a half, and 95, 95, 95, 750, and 97, going to be $2, and 97, going to be 2, 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 sold 197.50, Chris 9.
They're still working.
Are they? They're bunching it. Jackpot pins. So just whatever they're coming off the chute. What about those Garrison pears?
The bull was
I think they're back there, under the shed.
They want-
These bulls are on the shed.
55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 65, and 65, 70, 170, 170, 177 and a half, 70, 170, you get 70, and now 70, you get 72 and a half, and 72 and a half, 70, you get 2 and a half, 3, and 71, 3, 5, and 75, 75, 75, 77, 75, 77, 75, going to be 77, you get 77, so 175, hole 6. How many bulls we got left? How many bulls?
Look like they're halfway down the sea alley.
Oh, they're coming up all the way from back here.
They ought to be getting close.
Is that where they put them on now?
Just early in the morning. If they think they're gonna fill this up, they'll send them down there.
Yenable. $55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 55, 75, 62 and a half, highs, you get about 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 770, and 2 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, going to be 80, and now 83, 83, 82 and a half, 250, 82 and a half here, 25, 85 here, 85, 85, 7 and a half, 87 and a half here, 87 and a half here, sort of $1.85, hole 6. 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, 92 and a half, 92.50, and 92 and a half, group down to 2 and a half, 5, and 95, 97 and a half, 97 and a half, 97 and a half, 97.50, and 97 and a half, group $2, and 97 and a half, group 2, group 2, group 2, group 2, group 2, here, whole 7, 197.50. X, 7X. $85, $85, $87, $87, $87, group 90, we get 2 and a half, we get 5, and $95, $97, $97, $97, $97.50, and $97 and a half, 67, and $97, we get 98, $99, we get 99, we get 99, group 2, and $99, group 2, group 2, we get 2, group 195, we get $2 here, given bull, $199. $1.85, $1.85 here, good 85, 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 87, 90, and 2 and a half, 95, 95, 97, 97, good $2, and now 5, 205, 210, bit of 210, 20, and 215, 210 and 15, good 10 and 15, good 10 and 15, and 210, bit of 15, good 10 and 15, here, Chris, 210 on number 9. $185, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 85 here, good 85, $1.85 here, 55, and 55, 57, 57, good 60, we get 2 and a 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 5, 67 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, and now 70, we get 2 and a half, 72, 50, and 71, 3, and 71, 3, 71, 3, 5, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 73, 75, 75, 7, and 75, 77, sold 175, Gibbon Bull. August is up a pinch. Everything else is down a little bit.
something? They coming out of that sea alley?
Oh, $1.65. And 65 now 7 and 72 and a half, 75, 77 and a group 82 and a half, group 5, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and 93, group 192 and a half, 95, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 97 and a half, 97 and now 2, and 97 and a half, group 2, group 2, now 2 and a half, and 202 and a half, 2 and a half, group 2 and a half, 2 and a half, here, hole 7, $2. Wake cows, he said. All right, 152 and a half, 50, 52 and a half, 55, 57, 57, going to be 60, and 2 and a half, 5, and 65, and 65, 3, 5, and 65, now 5, now 7, and 67, how, hey, daughter, now, hey, sir, now, hey, daughter, to hand hide, and now 9, going to be 9, and now 9, daughter, going to be 9, here, going to be 9, here, going to be 9, daughter, everything down here, so 168 on Booker, 14. starting at 8.
Is it
8 o'clock at night. Yeah, when I was watching you punching them in, you'd be like,
90's on your twice, 92's on your twice.
on this group or what's
last
outside?
group.
Maybe sold in. How'd they pin those?
You guys have already sent them those, right? The last one.
Yeah. They're by themselves though.
You might tell them to leave them by themselves in case you need to go back and look.
Oh yeah, I just have them in the group. There was 22 on that deal, right?
They are fine. $1.52 and a half. 50, gonna get 2.5, gonna be 2.5, gonna be 2.5, gonna get 5. 55, 57, 57, 57, 60, and now 60, 60, now 60, 60, and now 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a 5. And it's gonna 5, and it's gonna 5, here, gonna be 165. And it's gonna $5 and a half, 5 here, gonna get $5 and a half, 5 here, sort of 162 and a half here, Booker 13.
Booker 13.
Eight to 9 year olds, 5 months bred, 1,500. 15, 16, and 15, 16, 17, 17 and a half, and 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, here, you're going to be 1750, and 17 and a half, here, half and a half, here, 18, 1800, 18, here, 18, here, 1800, 1800, here, 18, bit of 18, here, 18, sold, 17 and a half, Chris, nothing. Dollar be 105 and 105 here. You're going to be 105. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. It'll get 5. Now 5 here. You're going to be 105 and 10. Going to be 110, 15, 20 and 25. Going to be 125, 25 here. 25, 25 and 25 here. 125. Going to be 25 here. So 120 S1. You got George on the phone on these bears? You guys, here's opportunity, guys. All first ones. Here's a Savage consignment we're working on. Got their first calves on the ground. Calves look like they're handling pretty good. All right there. You're going to be 3,500 and 35 and 35, 37 van, 35, 37 van, 35, 37 van, 3750 and 37 van. Going to be 37 van. Going to be 37 van. Going to be 4 and 4,000. Going to get 4 and 4,000. Going to get 4,000. Going to be 4,000. Going to be 4,000. Going to get 4 and 4,000. Going to be 4 and 4,000. Going to get 4,000. Going to get 4,000. Going to get 4,000. Going to be 4 and 4,000. Going to be 8, 9, now 9, 30, 900 and 30. Hey, you're going to be 9. You're out of line. 3,900 and 30. Hey, you're going to be 9 and 30. Hey, 3,900. 30. Hey, give 9 and 30. You're going to get 900. Going to be 30. Hey, you're going to get 900. Going to be 3,900 and 3,900. Going to be 30. Hey, you online. You're out. 3,900 and 30. Hey, you're going to be 900. Going to be 30. Hey, you're going to be 900. Going to be 900 now. 9. Sold them 3,800. Put them on TKO. 2,500 and 25 and 25 and 25, 2,600 and 25. Going to be 600 and 25. Going to be 2,600. Going to be 25. Going to be 2,600. Going to be 25. Going to be 600. Going to be 25. 6 and 25. Going to be 2,600. Going to be 25. Going to be 6. MW 2,500.
There was 22.
Eight-year-old family, 2,000. 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 2,100, 2,100, you're going to be 2,100, and 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, now 2, 3, and 3, 4, and 24, you're going to be 25, you're going to be 25, 6, and 25, you're going to be 6, 7, and 27, now 7, 7 of 8, 27 of 8, 27 of 8, 27 of 8, you're going to be 2,800, and 2,800, you're going to be 2,800, sold 2,700, Chandler.
They in there yet, Cody? They in there yet?
8-year-old family. 2,500 and 25 and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 600 and 6, 7, 7 of 8, 27 of 8, 9, 3 and 3, 1 and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31 and 32, 32, 32, 32, 3,200 and 3,200. You're going to get 3,200. You're going to be 31, 2 and 3,200. You're going to be 32, 32, 3,200 and 31, 2. You're going to be 31, 2, 31, 2, 31. You're going to be 200. You're going to be sold 3,100. Chandler.
Are they in there yet? The meeting. Okay. Surely they'll call us.
2 and 3-year-olds. $75, $75, here's 75, 75, 75, 75, 80, and 75, 80, 75, good 85, 85, 85, 85, and 90, good 95, and 95 here, 95, now 2, good 2, good 2, good 2, $2, and 95, good $2 here, good 2, good 2, good 2, good 2, good 2, 95, 2, S, 195, 21. $135 and 35 and 35, 37 and 35, 37 and 37 and 37 and 37 and 40 and 40, we get 2 and a half, we get 5 and 45, 45, 45 here, 45 there, 45, 47 and 47 and 47 and 50, $1.53, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50 here, gray, 147 and a half, 5. Have fun. Take notes.
I will.
$0.50 a pound. 50, 60, and 50, 60, 70, you're going to be 70, you're going to be 80, you're going to get 90, you're going to get 95, and 95 here, 95, 95, 95, you're going to get 95, you're going to get 95, you're going to get 95, 95 dollar, a dollar bid, 105, you're going to be 105, 10, you're going to be 110, 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 you're going to be 510, you're going to be 110, 110, Chris Shout, 110, 10, 15, 10 and 15, 20, and 20, 23, you're going to be 120, and 23, you're going to be 120, you're going to be 120, you're going to be 115, 20, and 20, 23, you're going to be 120, 120, 120, John, you're out, 125, 125, sold, 120, John. Dollar pound, dollar five, and 105 here, good to be 105, it'll get 5, it'll get 5, it'll get 5, 105, 10, good to be 110, 15, down 20, and 125, good to be 25, 20, 30, and 30, 30, 30, 30, buck 35, and 35, 40, good to be 140, good to be 140, good to be 140, good to be 145, and 45, 50, and $150 there, good to be 150, 150, $150 there, good to be 150, and $150 pound, good to be 150, it'll get 50, it'll get 50, it'll get 50 there, so 145 S9. Indoor ball practice starts at 8. Dollar pound. $5 and 105 here, good to be 105, it'll get 5, it'll get 5, it'll get 5, it'll get 5 here, 105, and $5 a pound here, good to 110, good to be 110, 15, 20, and 25, 30, and 30, 35, 35, 35, 40, and 45, it'll get 45, it'll get 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 5, 55, 55, 55, $55, and 55, 60 here, 5, and 65, 70, 170, sold 165, Terry 7. Remember, guys, no cow sale next Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be open. We'll be open Monday, too, just no sale. Four and open. $1.50. $55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 65, and 70, 5, 80, 85, 85, 85, and 95, and 95 here, 95, 95, 2, and 95 and 2, now 5 here, 10, going to be 15, and 2, 15, 20, and 2, 20, we get 2, 20, Teddy, 220, and 2, 20, we get 2, 20, we get 2, 20, Teddy, you're out, 220, and 20, 20, there, going to be 2, 20, we get 2, 20, Chris, 215, 4X. Gotcha. $8.2, $55, 55, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, we get 2 and a 5, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 5, 165, and 2 and a 5 here, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, 2 and a half, 5, and 75, 77 and a half, 80, and now 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, 85, 85 here, 85 here, going to be 85, 85, 85 here, Chris, 182 and a half, 55. $55 and 55 55 55 55 57 57 57 57 57 60 and 2 and a half 2 and a half 5 and 5 7 and a half 7 and a 70 you're gonna be 170 you're gonna be 170 you're gonna be 70 and 70 bid 73 you're gonna get 70 here now 70 you get 70 Taylor 70 here so 167 and a half Chris 10 just making sure. Ought to be at 105 and 105 here. You're going to be 105. You're going to get 5. You're going to get 5. You're going to get 5. Here. You're going to be 105 and 10. Here. You're going to be 110. 15 and 15. 15. 20. Here. You're going to be 125 here. 25. 25. 25. 25. 25. You're going to get 120 S1. You understand what they're talking about? Not a clue. What are they talking about? Nah, I'm good. 55. It's not bad. 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, going to be 62 and a half, 2 and a half, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 170, both out, 2 and a half, 72 and a half, 72.50, and 70, we get 2 and a half, 70, we get 2 and a half here, cabinets, 170 on X. Taylor, you should have seen what your husband was bidding on about 5 minutes ago. $185, 85 there, you're going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 2-year-old guy, she's open, 185 and 95, and 95, going to be 2, and 205, going to be 205, and 205, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, and 5 here, yes, $2, 13. $5 years old. She's 5 months bred. She ain't got a bag $1. 110, 20, 30, 40, 50. $50, $60, $70, $60, 70, $80, $90, $2, 210, 220, 210, 20. Chris, 210. That might be the highest cow I've sold all day. Nine years old. She's 4 months bred, guys. Here's a little better deal. 2,000 and 2,100 and 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21. Now 1 and 21, 2 and 21 and a half. Now 2 and 22 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. We get 3 and 23, 23, 23, 23, 23. We get 3, 23, we get 3, 23, we get 3, 2,300, 23, we get 3. Sold her 22 and a half. Chris 55. $5 and $105 here. You're going to be 105, you get 5, you get 5 and 10. You're going to be 10, 15, and you get 15 and 10 and 15. 110 and 15. You're going to be 110 and 15. Sold 110 S3. How many we got left, Ricardo? 20. Got any baby calves? $3 years, guys. She's open here. $2. 2.5 and 2.5. We get 5 now 2 now 5. 205 and 205 here. 5. We get 2. Group 2. Group 2. Group 2. Group 2. Group 2. $1.50. $50, 60, $50, 60, $60, 70, $75, and 75, 80, and now 85, 85, 85, and 90, group 190, and 90, 85, and 90, we get 90, group 90, we get 95, 195, Teddy, you're out, 195, 195, Teddy, 195, we get 5, and 95, 95, 95 here, group 195 here, Flying B, 190, put him on number, she was a 3-year-old, put her on 4, on number 4. 7 and open here. 135 and 35 and 37 and 35, 37 and going to be 40, going to get 2 and a half, going to get 5, going to be 7 and a half, now 47.50 and 40, going to get 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 50 and now 52 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half. You got a line 5, 155, 57 and a half, now 60, now 60, sold 157 and a half. Teddy. Bad bag, but how old is she? 10 by 5. She's got a bad bag here, $1.50. 55, yeah, 55 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, going to be 60, 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 25, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, and half, going to be 162 and a half, going to get 5, going to get 5 here, Booker, 162 and a half on number 14. Am I getting served? I don't know if I want to open it. Oh, okay. Thank you. Two by 5. Jumper. 7-year-old cow. $1.65 and 65 and 7 and 7 and 70, 172 and a half, 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 750 and 77 and a half, 77, 80 and now 82 and a half, 82, 50, 82 and a half here, Booker, 180. Changing gears. $1. $5 and $105 here. Go to 105. It'll get 5. 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 It'll get 5 here. Go to 110. Go to 110. 15 and 15 here. 110 and 15 here. 110. 115 here. Yes. 110. 3. Two by 5. She's a jumper. $1.50. $1.55. Yeah, 55, 60, 5, 70, 175, 75, 75, 80, 180, 175, 80, and 75, going to be 180, 180, 170, 75, 80, 85, 85, 85, 90, 190, 5, 195, $2, 205, 205, 210, 215, 210, going to be 215, S, 210. 22. She's a jumper, John. Pin her with the 21s. Thank you. Might be the last time you see her. Six years old, 7 months, 2,000. 2,100, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 200, and 21, going to be 23, and 23, going to be 24, going to be 25, going to be 25, 6, and 26, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, 800, and 20, going to be 9, and then going to be 2900, going to be 20, going to be 900, brighten her out, 29, and 28, 9, and 20, going to be 900, brighten her out, 2,900, and 20, going to be 2,900, going to be 20, going to be 29, going to be 20, going to be 9, flying B, 2,800 on 1. Nice cow, William. How bad? Like $1.30? 130, $8.30, we get 30, we get 30, we get 30, 20, at 125, 25, 25, 25, 30, and then 30, we get 35, 35, 35, 35, you get 5 here, 35, 35, we get 35 here, so 130 on Gibbon. Thank you, Matthew. Four and open, guys, here in 75. Yeah, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, going to be 175, 75, 75, 80, 180, 85, 85, 85, 90, and now 90, going to be 85, going to be 85, going to be 90, so 185, Chris, 3X. Huh? 4X. I like her a lot better. Weigh that cow, $1. 105 and 105 here. Good to be 105. Good to get 5. Good to get 5. Good to 10. Good to be 110. 15 and 10 and 15. Good to be 10 and 15. Good to be 10 and 15. 20 and 20 and 20 there. Good to be 20 and 20 there. Good to be 120. Good to be 20. Good to be 20 here. So 115 S3. Where hubby at? Went home. Dry off. Four open, $1.50. $1.55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, $1.60 there, 65, and 65, 70, 175, 75, 75, 80, and now 80, 75, going to be 85, 85 and now 90, 195, and 95, going to be 2, 5, going to be 205, going to get 5, going to get 5 here, going to be 205 here, Teddy, $2. Got age on her? No age on her. $1.55. 55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 57, 55, 57, 57, 60. And now 60. You're going to get 60. You're going to be 60. You're going to get 60. There. You're going to be 60. Booker, 157 and a half. 3. Six-year-old, she's open, $1.55. 55, 75, 60, 2.5, and 65, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, going to be 67 and a half, and 60, 70, and now 70, we get 70, now 70, we get 70, Booker, 67 and a half, nothing. $125, and 25, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 30, and 25, 30, and 25, going to be 125, going to be 125, 30, and now 30, you get 35, and 35, 35, now 35, 40, we get 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 40, here's S, 135 on 3. 7-year-old cow, $1.50. $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, $1.55, and 55, 60, and now 60 there, 5, going to be 60, 5, going to be 60, Teddy, 155, Teddy. Keep us up here for tomorrow. 3 years old, $1.85. 185, 85 there, you're going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 90, and 90, 85 and 90, 190, 190, 190 there, you're going to be 85, 90, you're going to be 85, 90, you're going to be 85, you're going to be 190, you're going to be 90 here. So 185, Chris, 8X. Pin him with the 7Xs. 6-year-old cow, $1.55. 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 57, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, dollar bid, 105 now, 10, going to be 110, 15, 20, and 20, and 20, 25, and 25, it'll get 35, and 35, 40, 45, it'll get 45, 50, and $1.55, 55, 55, 60 there, 160 now, 60, 155, 60. You guys are all out, 155, 60. Teddy, 155. How much you give, Antone? What about $2? $1.50, 60. $1.50, 60. 4-year-old guys, she's open. $1.50, 60. $1.50, 60, 70, 170, 170, 170, 170, 80, 180, 170, 80, 170, 80, 190, and 190, we get 92, and 190, going to be 2, here, going to be 190, we get 2, going to be 190, we get 2, going to be 190, we get 2. So at 190, Antone. Eight-year-old. 8-year-old, $1.52 and a half. 50, we get 2 and a half. Going to be 50, we get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 250. 10-year-old here, $1.52 and a half. And 5 and 55, 57 and 57 and going to be 62 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half here. Book 160. He don't know numbers very good. Big and big. Look at this. $55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 60, we get 2 and a half, we get 5, 7 and a half, 7 and 70, 170, 170, get 70, and 2 and a half, and 75, 75, 75, 77 and a half, 77, 50, and says 6-year-old, 77 and a half, 80, and 182 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, going to be 82, 50, 82 and a half here, 82 and a half here, cow, 180, put him on cow, on number 121. Just 21. Thank you. They look good. Should no. $10-year-old dollar bid, 105, and 105, we get 5, 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 105, 105, we get 5, we get 5, 105, $1.05, we get 5, we get 5 here, S, $1, 3. Eight-year-old, 6 months. 10 by 6. 2,000, 20, 100, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2100 here. 100. She's been sewed up at one time. Am I just seeing things? She's crippled. Long-toed, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 5, and 55, you get 55, you get 55, you get 55 here. Sold 150, Ricardo. 75, and 75, 75, 75 here, 77 of a group of 82 and a half, group of 2 and a half, group of 85, 85, 85, 85, 7 and a half, 87 of a group of 90, 90, 90, 80, 90, 91, and 91, 91, 92, 92, 92, 91, 2, and 91, 2, 91, 2, 91, 2, hole 7, 191 on 6. Three-year-old family. 2,500 and 25 and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 600 and 25, going to be 6, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, and 7, 7, 800 and 27, going to be 2,800, going to be 27, going to be 28, 9, and 9, going to be 2,900, going to be 25, 3, and 3,000, 3, and 2,900, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, going to be 25, 3, and 25, 3,000, 3,000, 25, 3, flying B, 2,900 on the number 3. Number 3. He gets the cow and the calf outside. Baby don't want to go with his mama. Uh-huh. Was it Matt? Who's that last one? 5 and 6-year-old. They're all putting $1.55. Yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 57, going to be 60, 52 and a half, 55, 7 and a half, 70, 170, 172 and a half, 5, and 75, 50, and 77, going to be 82 and a half, going to be 82 and a half, going to be 82, 50, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 5, 85 and 90, and 195, 95, 95 and 2, going to be 205, going to be 205, going to be 210, 210. Online guys, you're all out. 210. Online guys, you're all out. 210, 210, and 205, 10, and down 10, bit of a 210, bit of a 210, good of a 210, good of a 210, good of a 210, sold 205. Chris, 4X. $200. Billy, did you bid 200? 250. 300. 300, William, you're out. Other William. 300. 3.5. 400. 4.5. 500. 5.5. 600. 6.5. 700. 7.5. Quarter half. 750. Sold 725. Chandler. Well, I'm glad you showed up because I don't know if I'd have done that for you, big boy. Four little bull calves. 800. 850, 850, 850, 50 and a half here, 850, 850, 50 and a half here, 8 and a half here, 8 and a half, 900, and 900, 950, and 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 950, and 950, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 950, 9 and a half, 950, and 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 950, 950, 950. Now 10, 1,000, and 1,050, 1050, and 1050, 11, 1100, 1100, 1100, 1100, 1100, 10 and a half, 11. 1,100, going to be 10 and a half, 1,100. Sold 1050. Billy, 4, 3. Takes too long to get them big. They're too little. Little heifer, 500. 550, 550, 50, 550, 550, 550, 550, 550, going to be 550, 550, and 550, 550, 550, 550, going to be 600, now half, now 7, now half, now 8, now half, 850, 850 and a half here, 8 and a half here, 850 here, Billy. 800 on 2. Keep them separate. Here's some I can afford. Bad eyes and blind. That's the ones I can afford. 5 little heifer calves, guys. 500. 550, 550, 55 and a half, 55 and a half, 55 and a half, 5 and a half, going to be 600 and a half, and now 7, going to be 750, going to be 800, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, and 9 and a half, 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 10, 1,000, and 1,000. Who you got? 1,000. 950 now 10, 1,000 and 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Sold 950. Terry, 7X. Jared, thank you, sir. Or are you Justin? Justin, gotcha. Little light book. Here's you get 500. 550, 550, you're going to be 600 and a half, here now 750, we get 7 and a half, going to be 800 and a half, going to be 8 and a half, we get 900 and a half, and 9 and a half, going to be 1,000, we get 1,050, and 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 11, 1,100, 1,100, and 1,100, and 10 and a half, 1,100, going to be 1,100, going to be 1,100, going to be 1,100, going to be 1,100. Sold 1050. Billy 3. Little blue eyes. All right, 500 are all going to go. 500 so much times 4 apiece. 500 apiece. 500, even to get 5, and 500, even to get 500, even to get 500, even to get 500, going to be 500 now, 350, 350, 350, 3 and a half, 4, and 400, 400, 400, 400, and 3 and a half, even to get 450, even to get 4 and a half, even to get 500, even to get 500, and now 5, even to get 5, even to get 5, little TLC, no telling how much money you can make next spring. 550, 550, 550, Terry, 500 on 7 at 2. Terry, if you can keep them alive, they come back, bring 3,500 in March. Might have to keep them longer than that. Got some eye problems. 200. 200 apiece. 200. 250. 250. Chandler, what about you? 250? 250? 300? 300 apiece? 300? 350? 400? 400? They're gentle. 400? So 350. What's the name? Snyder. Give them some gummies. They might get better. Outside. That it? 500. 550, and 5 out of 5, get 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 550, and 550, 50, 5 out of 5, get 5 out of 5, get 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 550 here, Terry. 500 on number 7X. Yep. 300. 300, even to get 3, and 350, and 350, even to get 354, and 400, 400, even 400, even to get 450, even to get 4.5, 500, even to get 550, and 555 out of 5, even to get 5 and a quarter half, 5 out of 5, even to get 5 out of 5, 75, 575, 575, 600, and 600 a quarter, and down 25 out of 5 here, 50, and 50 times 75, going to be 6, 75, going to be 6, 75 and 7, and 700 and 7, and 750, and 7 and a half here, bit of a half here, going to be 750, 800, 800, 800, 850, 850, 50 and a half here. 850, 850 and a half here, 8 and a quarter. Now half. Sold 825 Chandler. That's it, guys. Thank y'all for being here. See you tomorrow morning.